Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kiara. If you're new here, if not, welcome back. Today is Easter. I put up a very festive, like, pastel colored backdrop for you guys, which I'm actually really liking. Normally I have like a white sparkly one or a blue sparkly one, but I picked up a blue and a purple backdrop recently. When I mean I picked up a backdrop, I went to the fabric store, asked for 2 yards, and then pinned it to my wall. So I'm really liking my new backdrop. I hope you guys like it too. I feel like it suits my color quite a bit. My hair is still kind of wet if it looks a little bit weird. I'm going to my parents' house today, but I kind of just wanted to film a video just because it is such a laid back day today. So I'm going to do a full face drugstore, so everything that you could get at the drugstore is going on my face today. Don't know why I had to reiterate that. Disclaimer, to me, drugstore also means Ulta. I don't have any eyeshadow palettes that are strictly from like CVS, Walgreens, Target. So my eyeshadow palettes are going to be purchased at Ulta, but from like the cheap side of Ulta. Like, you know how you walk in and there's like that divider? It's going to be from the stuff that's on the cheap side of Ulta that we can all afford, not the expensive side. So I do have a couple Morphe palettes as well as a couple of Juvia's Place palettes, just because I don't own any palettes strictly from like Walmart, Target. I haven't found a drugstore eyeshadow palette that I'm 100% a fan of. So if you guys have any suggestions, definitely leave it down in the comments below. But let's get started. Alright, starting off with primer. Wow, it matches my backdrop like perfect. Like, can you guys see that? Like, it blends in perfectly. So this is the one I'm going to be using. It is the CoverGirl True Blend Base Business. This is a pore minimizing one. So this one is going to be purple. And my friend recommended this to me, Chrissy here. I feel like I mention her in like every video. Like, we're actually friends in real life, guys. Like, it's not like we're like trying to get you to go subscribe to each other's channel. Like, we actually see each other on a almost daily basis. I'm actually getting a new job. So I'm not gonna see her every day, and it's really heartbreaking, and I don't want to start crying in this video. So yes, me and Chrissy are actually friends in real life. Chrissy recommended this to me because another girl on YouTube recommended it to her, or it was in her video, because I am pretty oily. I normally have combination skin where like I was really dry and then I was really oily and then it was combination and now I'm back to oily. So this is definitely recommended for people with oily skin. I definitely recommend this. It smells floral but not over the top because I hate scented things and I like it. So if you guys are sensitive to stuff, it'll definitely be good for you guys as well. Going in with a foundation. Everybody on YouTube swears by this foundation. So this is going to be the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Foundation. Now I had a love-hate relationship with this, but I ultimately do really like it. If you guys are sick and tired of YouTubers throwing this drugstore foundation at you, the Milani Conceal and Perfect, I'll grab it for you guys. If you guys are tired of people throwing this one at you, this one is comparable price-wise. I think it's like $4 more. This is the Milani Conceal and Perfect. If you guys have been here before, you know this is my ultimate go-to favorite freaking foundation. But I have a whole drawer full of foundation, so I'm trying to like go through them, but I always come back to this one. So if you guys are sick and tired of people throwing this one at you, try this one. They are two different formulas, I'd say. So if you don't like this one is different in its own way, but it's super freaking amazing. So definitely try this one. This is in the shade Golden Beige. Now I'm just gonna go in and directly plop that on my face. It's always weird to me when like people comment like your foundation is the wrong color. Like, not me personally, when I watch other people's videos and they're like your foundation's the wrong color. I don't think people understand that I'm like, we're behind 1, 2, 3, 4 very bright lights. So it might not look like it matches to you, but it definitely matches to us. Side note, the only downfall of this foundation is it smells really bad. I'm going in with a Real Technique sponge. Also my go-to sponge, you can get them at Target. I think there's a 2-pack for 10 bucks. Really quickly though, if you guys tried this foundation and you hated it, the first time I wasn't a fan of the way that it sat on my face, and I think it's because I didn't have a good enough primer. A lot of primers are going to make your foundations sit differently and act differently. So something that I've learned with playing with makeup is if you try a foundation and you hate it, before you decide that you actually hate it, make sure you try it with a different primer. Even if you were using it with your tried and true go-to primer, different primers react differently with different foundations. So before you decide to give away a foundation that you swear that you hate, just try it with a different primer and then decide if you hate it or not. Alright, my foundation is on. I'm going to go in with concealer now. So, my all-time favorite drugstore concealer is the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind, and this is in the shade Sand. But I recently picked up this Almay Clear Complexion Concealer Corrector. Covers, clears, calms, and controls, and this is in the shade light medium. And I picked this up, I've only used it once, and I really like it, so I think I'm going to try to go in with this today. The only thing I don't like about this concealer is the doe foot is really small, so it takes me like a couple dip-ins to get enough product. But I mean, first world problems, it takes a little bit longer, who cares. And then I'm just going to go in my Real Technique sponge and blend that in. And I always bring it out and then, of course, down. One thing that I can tell you guys is this does dry down very, very fast. So definitely work quick. Does anybody else have a really hard time blending their inner corner like concealer? Like I can never get in there. You guys have any tips or suggestions on how? And then when I do use a beauty blender, I take off all the foundation on my nose. Like every freaking time. And then I have to go back in and like touch up with foundation because my beauty blender always takes off my concealer. And then I am going to go in a little bit with my my Instant Age Rewind, and then just build that up a little bit. And then I have this in 3 different colors. So depending on the look I'm going for, if I want it to be a little bit more brightening on the under eye than it is right now, I'll go in with a lighter color. But honestly guys, I always go back to this concealer. I have a whole like bin full of concealers, and this is the one that I always go back to. A really good concealer is the e.l.f. Camo Concealer. It's a really, really nice concealer, but I got mine in a shade that is way too light, and it's borderline white on me, like stark white. So I don't use that one very often, and if I do, it is like 1 drop and I'm done. Going in with powder, my current favorite right now is the Beauty Bakery Flour Powder, but because this is a drugstore video, normally when people come to like a drugstore video, they're looking for cheaper alternatives, and I believe that powder is $25 to $30, so I went with a little bit of a cheaper version. I have the Maybelline Fit Me powder, and this is in translucent, and this is the matte and poreless one, and I have the Airspun powder. Again, flashback warning, this will flash back at you. So I normally will take my Maybelline Fit Me powder on my Real Technique sponge, and I'll press this into my under eye concealer because I crease so bad, and this will stick. So if you guys are gonna like bake with this, make sure you don't bake too long. And then I will take my Airspun powder, which is really messy. Like every time I open this, it goes everywhere. I'll put a little bit into the lid, and then I'll go in with this big fluffy brush, and I will very lightly like tap and swirl. I don't know why that reminds me of Bend and Snap. You guys know what I'm talking about from Legally Blonde. Bend and Snap. And it does lighten up my foundation a couple shades, which is really weird. But when I put on my setting spray, it'll all melt down and be perfectly fine. And then I do put a generous amount of this on, just because if I don't, my contour or my bronzer isn't going to stick. And then because that powder is so bright, I'm going to take a little pointed fluffier brush, and any extra that's under my eye, just gonna brush off. Going in with the bronzer now. This is my go-to drugstore bronzer. The only thing is I don't even know if they sell this anymore, guys, which is really bad for me to be putting it in this video. I've had this since high school. I know that sounds disgusting, but it is my ultimate go-to favorite drugstore bronzer. Again, there's the Benefit one that I use, which is my higher end one, but this is the NYC Smooth Skin Bronzing Face Powder, and this is in the 720A Sunny. I've had it for like probably, I don't even want to tell you guys how long I've had this because you guys are gonna like judge me. But it's an amazing bronzer. Like it's not showing that it's pigmented. It's pigmented, but not too pigmented that you might fuck up. Like I don't even know how to explain why I like this so much. It's just, I love it. So I don't know. I heard the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer is really nice if you guys are looking for another drugstore bronzer that I know is still a thing. So if you guys can find this and get your hands on this, definitely pick it up because it is amazing. I'm gonna go in with my Real Techniques multitask brush, which is what I use normally for my my bronzer. Sometimes I'll go in with my sculpting brush. If I don't want such a precise and I just want to warm up my face, I'm gonna go in with this one. I'm just gonna dip that, tap it off, and then just warm up my face. I'm not going for like a stark contour, like a very set line. I'm honestly just going in to bring a little bit of warmth back into my face that we just neutralized with the foundation. I think we all, unless you're like a pro, have that one thing when you're doing your makeup that you're not comfortable with. Like, sometimes you're like, oh, I don't know if this is gonna turn out right. I'm not really that comfortable doing it. For me, that would be bronzer. I'm not really going to venture out with bronzer. I don't want a stark contour. I just want to look warm. Like, I don't know if that makes any sense, but like, bronzer is that one thing that I'm not 100% comfortable with yet. I'll do what I know looks okay, but I'm not gonna do any extra. Like nose contour, who is she? I don't know her. Alright, now going in with blushes. My all-time favorite drugstore blush is going to be the Milani Baked Blush, and this is in the shade Luminoso. You guys have probably heard people talk about this. It's super freaking gorgeous. But I also have this e.l.f. one, and this is in the shade Blushing. I got this at Dollar Tree, guys. It was $1. It was just one single dollar. And this one is also really pretty, but they're pretty in their own ways. I am going to go in with this one. I'm going to go in really lightly just because it is a very glittery blush, and I don't really want too much glitter. Now, again, it's weird to some people, but I go in with a just fluffy brush, and I'm just going to blend everything on my face together. Now that I'm done with that, I'm going to set my face one of multiple times that you guys will see in this video. My current drugstore ones are going to be the Wet n Wild Natural Finish Setting Spray, or again, kind of drugstore, but you get it at Ulta, is the Morphe Continuous Setting Mist. So I'm going to go in with this one. Heads up, this will salt your face. It is very, like, powerful. Like, do you guys see that? Okay. So, this is just going to make your foundation lay down way better. And if you have any places that look really cakey, gently take your damp beauty blender and just ever so slightly pat it down. Normally, it'll lay down a little bit better for you. Alright, going in with my all-time favorite drugstore primer. This is the NYX eyeshadow base, and this is in the shade Skin Tone. Now I'm just going to dab that on to my lid. It's just going to neutralize most of my veins in my eyeball, because I have a lot. I don't know if you're able to see, like, just me looking straight on, I have a really big vein going through each of my eyes. Fun fact, when I'm really stressed, they bulge out, and that's how my mom knows I'm stressed. Like, if she asks if I think it's okay and I say yes and it's not, she can just tell because my eye, like, looks different to her, I guess. I don't know. I'm just going to go in and set it with my translucent powder. It's just a fluffy brush. It doesn't matter what kind. Just to make sure my eyeshadow doesn't stick. Alright, I'm going to go into my Juvia's Place palette. This is the Saharan by Juvia's. Again, you guys can get this at Ulta. These are one of my extremely favorite. They're probably my ultimate favorite palettes by them. I own 3. I own the Saharan, the Nubian, and the Nubian 2. You'll probably see all of them today, honestly. I'm just going to go in with a crease brush. This is the Morphe M139, dipping into Katsina down here, and putting that in my crease. Alright, so I'm bringing it all the way in, and then a little bit above the crease. I'm going to go in now with a little bit of a denser brush, a denser blending brush, and try to just blend that up a little bit. My eyes are slightly 2 different shapes, so it's really hard to get my eyeshadow even, because this eyelid is like slightly more wrinkly. I don't even know how to put it. So I always have to go in and add a little bit here, a little bit there, just to make them look like they're the same eyeball. I don't even know if that made sense. Now I'm going to go in the 35G Bronze Goals by Morphe. Now, if you guys don't want to use multiple palettes, if you have a palette that has like a lighter brown, we're just gonna go with the darker brown and then a shimmer. So honestly, these are some of my most reached for. Now, if you guys saw the video on this palette, I absolutely hate this palette for shimmers, but the matte colors in here for some reason are some of the best mattes that I've used, and I have a matte palette by Morphe, but these ones are just for some reason way freaking better. I'm gonna go in with a little bit of a smaller crease brush. This is in Morphe M506. And I'm going to dip into this caramely color right here. And I'm going to focus that in my crease, but only on the outer edge. Do you want to say hi to people?
Hi.
Really?
Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Darius.
Did you have to put on the deep voice?
I do a better blend than Kara does on her, you know, from that.
Alright, I went ahead and used that caramely brown color and I blended it into the crease about to like middle of the pupil area and then back. So not as far as you brought the first one, about halfway, just to darken that crease up a little bit. Going back in with the same little bit of a denser brush, and I'm just going to blend that together to make it look a little bit nicer. I'm gonna go in with this brown color right here and just right there. Like, I don't know if you're gonna see, just right here. I'm going to darken that outer V up. And then to clean that up a little bit, we're gonna go back into the original color that we had, this one right here, with that denser brush, very, very lightly, and then we're just going to clean up that edge. Now, I'm gonna go in to one of my favorite shimmers of all time. It's going to be Zoya out of the Saharan palette. Now, I feel like I should use a different color because I honestly constantly use this color. Like, I feel like I should like venture out a little bit and use one of these like pretty bluey green colors, but I don't know if I really want to. It's like Easter, like it should be like pinky and like light and peachy, you know? I actually never use this color, but because it's Easter, like why not for the hell of it? I'm gonna go in with Fula, and that is this really gorgeous pink color that you see right here. I'm going in with the Morphe M124. I feel like I'm gonna regret this because I never go in with like bright colors, but let's just see how she looks. Oh, she's cute or whatever. Lately I've been trying to like get out of my comfort zone and use colors that I normally would never use. And this pink color is probably a color I'd classify as a color that I would never use. I'm gonna go ahead and spray it with my Morphe just to get a little bit more vibrancy out of it, and then going back in with it because that'll give you like a foil effect with most shimmer. Alright, I went ahead and popped that on my lid. I'm gonna go in with the Katsina color on a little bullet brush and then kind of just blend these two together out in this area. I'm gonna go ahead in with the liquid eyeliner by Wet n Wild. My also second favorite drugstore is the Physicians Formula. It kind of just depends on what you're going for. If you're going for like more of a felt tip, that's so gloopy and disgusting. More of like a felt hard tip, or if you're going for a brush tip. So these are gonna be my two favorite drugstore eyeliners. I'm actually gonna go ahead and put on some lashes as well as my eyebrows really quick off camera. Lashes either are going to be the Kiss number 11 lashes you can get at Ulta, or Demi Wispies by Ardell, which you can get pretty much anywhere, are my favorite drugstore lashes. And the pencil I'm going to be using for my eyebrows is the L'Oreal Brow Stylist Definer, and this is in the shade Dark Brunette. Alright, really quickly, I just wanted to show you guys that my favorite glue is the Duo Dark. This one goes on black. I don't like the one that goes on clear because I can never see. And I just wanted to give you guys a really quick tip that if you also kind of suck about putting on eyelashes, I see everybody always say like, put on a thin layer of mascara and then put on your eyelashes. That's where you're going wrong. Do not put on your mascara until after, because every time my eyelashes are always like long and then try to stick them and it sticks to the eyelashes. Put on your lash first and then put on a small layer of mascara, because it will make your life 10 times freaking easier. I'm not even lying to you guys. Alright, now that my fake lashes are on, I'm gonna go ahead and take my CoverGirl Lash Blast True Volume Mascara, the orange one by CoverGirl. I've been using this since high school and it is the best mascara you can find. So I'm just gonna blend my natural lashes with my fake lashes. My ultimate favorite highlighter in general, not even drugstore, like my favorite highlighter is the Wet n Wild Mega Glow, and this is in the shade Precious Petals. Oh guys, this highlighter is beyond words. It's the fact that it's only like $4 is ridiculous. I put on a lot of highlighter because I like it. Nobody's in charge of me. I can do what I want. I'm gonna go in with Champagne Gold color right here and just pop that underneath my brow. Boom. I went ahead ahead and pop that same champagne-y color into my inner corner as well. And then I think I'm going to pop a brown in the lower lash line. I was going to bring a pink in, but I feel like this is a lot of pink and it's a little overpowering as it is. So I'm just going to go back in with that dark brown color that we had and smudge that along the lower lash line with a Morphe M508 brush into that dark brown color right here that we have, and just bring that through. I'm also going to take the littlest, tiniest, itsy bitsiest bit of black and put it right on the outer just to blend it in a little bit. And then last but certainly not least, we're going to do lips. My favorite drugstore lip products are the NYX Butter Gloss in the shade Madeline, or the Maybelline lipstick in 545 Beige Babe. I think this one's going to be a little bit too nude today, because this is so pink. I'm just going to go ahead and throw on the NYX gloss. Alright, that is it for today's look. Again, everything on my face is drugstore. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you do, be sure to give it a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, and leave a comment down below. I will see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.